It's a beautiful day. Lucky that we live Hawaii. 24/7, 365. Swimming in the ocean anytime. Take the leap, yeah, live healthy. Eat well. Be active. Live Tono every day.
Take a little bike ride.
Aloha kako, and welcome to a new episode of Foundation for Healthy Generations. I'm your host, Lorelyn Salamanca of the WIC program at the Department of Health. It's nice to be with you once again to highlight our state health department's public health programs, initiatives, issues, and public health concerns. Today's episode is part 2 of our focus on breastfeeding. We interviewed Heidi Hansen-Smith from the Healthy Hawaii Initiative Office and Linda Chalk from the WIC Services Branch Office at the last episode. The department's strategic plan contains 5 foundations for healthy generations. And in today's episode, we would like to highlight Department of Health's activities on the neighbor islands that support breastfeeding and how these activities close the gaps in 2 of the 5 foundations, health equity and health promotion and disease prevention. Here with us today are representatives from the neighbor islands within the department. Our panel members have been and are currently involved in various activities that support breastfeeding. Kauai County's efforts focus on instituting the baby-friendly hospital framework at the 2 hospitals on island, and also on breastfeeding mothers returning to work. Christina Getty joins us today via phone to share their activities. Welcome, Christina.
Thank you for having me and allowing me to share the exciting activities around the breastfeeding that we have been working on.
Yeah, well, you're very welcome. Christina, can you tell us a little bit more about tell us about yourself and what attracted you to working with breastfeeding mothers?
Sure. I'm originally from Hungary, and I was lucky enough to move to Hawaii in 97. I'm married to my husband, Alan Coco, of 10 years, and we have a beautiful daughter named Vivian, who's almost 5. I had a great experience of breastfeeding her until she was 22 months old, and I know how much support a mom needs when it comes to breastfeeding, especially if you are a first-time mom. When I heard there was an opportunity to become a breastfeeding peer counselor, I knew I wanted to be that extra support for the moms.
Wow. Well, I know that you were also involved with the Kauai Breastfeeding Symposium in August of last year. Can you share who was at the symposium and what happened at the symposium?
Of course. The symposium was held to educate businesses and community about state and federal laws associated with mothers returning to work, to inform attendees about the health benefits to mother and baby, and to stress the importance of comprehensive community support for breastfeeding mothers. Some of the community businesses that were at the symposium included Walmart, Costco, St. Regis Hotel at Princeville, Madden Corporations, Macy's, and Syngenta Seeds. Healthcare professionals and the community members were also in attendance. One of our state representatives, Dee Morikawa, shared her involvement with the Health Committee in the legislative and legislative efforts to increase the capacity for breastfeeding support.
Well, that sounds like a great turnout for the symposium. I'm curious to hear about the hospitals and their commitment to the efforts.
Well, both Kauai Veterans Memorial Hospital and Wilcox Memorial Hospital on Kauai are very receptive to providing an environment that is conducive to mothers' breastfeeding success. The goal is to minimize the roadblocks or contradictory messages to a mother's choice to breastfeed.
Yeah. Well, having that support during delivery until discharge is very important. A lot can, go wrong in the first few days of life that the baby is born. And I think another time that maybe a mom might need support is when they return to work or when they may be returning to school. So when, they have that separation from the baby, yeah. How has the Kauai District Health Office supported working moms continue with their breastfeeding?
Well, we are very happy about this. We established an employer breast pump loaner program where we loan a hospital-grade breast pump to the employer in order to support the breastfeeding mothers who are returning to work. and there are 25 electric pumps available for loan. We are also supporting the employees with personal attachments to the pump, small cooler with milk storage bottles, and some other samples, and of course breastfeeding support and resources to both the employer and the employees. And some of the employers who are currently participating in our program are Wilcox Memorial Hospital with about 5 moms. We get Kauai Veterans Memorial Hospital with about 5 moms as well. Syngenta Seeds, 2 offices of the County of Kauai, Kauai Community College, Kapaa High School, and Kmart. We have currently 12 employers who are participating in our program, and we have been supporting 22 breastfeeding moms. And the loaner program was marketed to the employers and employees via public service announcements that were broadcasted over 3 local Kauai radio stations. And also employers receive free technical assistance under the program on how to implement the federal law regarding reasonable break time and place the pump.
Well, that's great. Love to show some pictures, so if we could see that on the screen, of some of the employers that have established, I guess, a lactation station at their workplace. So the first picture we're seeing here is from the Kauai Community College Wellness Center. And then the next photo is at a local dentist's office, Dr. Baird's office. And then we have a shot as well of the lactation station for the Queen Liliuokalani Children's Center. That looks nice and cozy. We also have the station from Wilcox Hospital. And then the last picture that we have is from Syngenta Seeds. So it looks pretty simple to set up, Christina.
Yes, it is actually very easy for employers to implement the law at the work site. Employers are only required to provide a place other than the bathroom that is shielded from view and free from intrusion from coworkers and the public, which may be used by an employee to express breast milk. We just asking for the area to have an outlet, a table, and a comfortable chair, and also to allow the employees to have access to a sink close by. And if I may add, both the Symposium and the Employer Breast Pump Loaner Program was sponsored by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Hawaii State Department of Health.
Wow. Well, these are awesome grassroots efforts that you folks are making at the District Health Office, and are huge strides, I think, in helping the moms getting the support that they need, whether it be they're at the hospital or they're returning back to work. No one can do it alone, and so all this, I'm sure, is very, very valuable to the breastfeeding moms in your community. So we look forward to hearing more about Kauai County's efforts for breastfeeding.
Yeah, thank you so much, and we are really happy to help the breastfeeding moms who are returning to work with the program, and even just to help the employers as well.
Thank you again, Christina, for helping us. We're going to take a short break now and have a couple of public service announcements.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Christina.
Aloha.
Junk food, it makes you fat. Soda and fries. Junk food, it makes you fat. Soda and fries. Junk food, it rots your teeth. Cookies and chips. Junk food, it rots your teeth. Cookies and chips. Junk food, please buy some every day.
Welcome back to part 2 of our episode on breastfeeding. Achieving the momentum for change that Kauai County is experiencing is possible when partnerships are built with other stakeholders in the community. The capacity for progress is greater when there are more people involved. So here with us today to describe those exact partnerships that are being built on Maui County is Jenny Bissell. And Jenny's joining us via phone. So aloha, Jenny.
Aloha, Lynn, and everyone.
Thank you for joining us today here. although via phone. We just want to know more about these partnerships that you folks have built over on Maui County.
Certainly. The Maui District Health Office has facilitated relationships with different groups to promote support for breastfeeding mothers countywide. Partnerships lead to sustainability, and in times of budget cuts and uncertainty of funding in the future, partnerships is very critical.
Right.
We have some pictures of some of the folks. I'm sorry. Again.
No, it's okay. Just keep going.
I'll keep going. So we do have some pictures of some of the folks that the Maui District Health Office has partnered with.
Yep, we've got that on the screen right now.
Okay, awesome. The photos, the first photo has Monique Paris, who is a doula. This was, by the way, these photos were taken at the Maui Memorial Medical Center. We had a mini breastfeeding alliance fair there. So we have Monique Paris, who is a doula, Jessica Caudo, who's a registered nurse and an IBCLC who works at Maui Memorial Medical Center Obstetrics Unit, Mary Jane Bennett, who is from the La Leche League leader, and then Audrey Inaba, who's the maternal and child health nurse coordinator for Maui, and Dr. Nancy Rogers, who has been our breastfeeding champion from Kaiser, and she is an obstetrics gynecologist. This was the mini breastfeeding health fair at Maui Memorial Medical Center in the old lobby. There was information on preconception care, WIC, breast pumps, family planning, breastfeeding facts, and resources. And then the plumerias were also given to and worn by everyone who supported breastfeeding who breastfed. And at the same time during the fair, Molly Kepler she also did educational sessions in the adjacent auditorium about the benefits of breastfeeding and working through breastfeeding challenges for professionals and the public. Maui Memorial Medical Center is putting a lot of effort into increasing skills and capacity of the nurses at the hospital and also the paramedical assistants there in supporting breastfeeding. In fact, there were 2 staff from the hospital that were sent to a week-long train of trainers on Oahu. There were 10 individuals from the hospitals and from the community that took prepared to consult for the International Board Certified Lactation Consultant Certification. PMAs and LPNs received an in-service from Carol Melcher, who was sponsored by the Healthy Hawaii Initiative.
Wow, Jenny, that sounds like a lot of activity just on one island or one county, really.
Yeah, it is, Lynn. Again, we're also proud to share that Mayor Alan Arakawa signed a proclamation of awareness and support for breastfeeding in the county of Maui during World Breastfeeding Week. This event brought the alliance and the partnerships together and stronger. And we had breastfeeding advocates. We had including mothers, babies, grandmothers, child birth educators, agencies, our community partners from Early Head Start Maui Family Support Services, WIC, Children with Special Health Needs Branch, Early Intervention. So it was a very strong presence and illustration of the public-private partnership in supporting our mothers, our breastfeeding mothers, as well as promoting breastfeeding in our county.
Right. And it's very important that our breastfeeding moms know where to ask for support and that support exists in the community. And with all this, all these stakeholders, all these partnerships, I think the work definitely gets easier when there are more people to help. So thank you again, Jenny, for joining us today. We look forward to hearing
welcome.
more.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll talk to you later.
Okay. Thank you.
So our next segment will feature a representative from the Big Island and talk about their efforts. In the meantime, we'll take a pause for a quick public service announcement.
I don't know what it is about it. I mean, so what? I ate 5 bags of chips today.
If she keeps this up, she's gonna die.
I don't have a problem. It's eating food. It's like walking on sunshine.
She needs help. All that's doing is just lowering her self-esteem.
I don't really care. It's my life. Get out of it.
We used to go to the park, we used to play volleyball. What happened?
Welcome back to our part 2 of our breastfeeding episode. For the rest of this episode, we will be interviewing Martha Schaefer, who is a public health nutritionist from the Big Island. She will be talking about the efforts on the Big Island to continue the sustained progress towards normalization of breastfeeding. Welcome, Martha.
Thank you, Lynn. It's a real pleasure to talk to you.
And thank you for taking time to be with us today. We've heard about Kauai and Maui earlier in the episode, and Kauai had this symposium that was meant to increase employers' awareness about moms' rights and the right for a reasonable time to breastfeed or to express milk.
Yes, the success of nursing moms can really depend on the support their workplace offers. Because many of our moms return to work shortly after giving birth. And when this happens, they need the support of their employer to breastfeed successfully. Ways that employers can be supportive ranges from giving them more flexibility in their work hours to providing a clean and private place for her to express breast milk. So in order to encourage this, on the Big Island for the past 2 years, Hilo, Kona, and Bay Clinic WIC programs have encouraged moms to nominate employers that have been, in their opinion, exceptionally supportive of their efforts to breastfeed. And over 25 employers have been recognized as a breastfeeding-friendly workplace. Most of the employers have received framed award certificates. And we post the employers' photos of these employers receiving their awards at our clinics so that other moms can know, what's possible out there in the community.
Well, that's really awesome, Martha. I'd like to hear a little bit more about how the employers reacted. We saw a copy of a certificate for T-Mobile on, I guess, Hilo, their location there, and also for Hot Dog on a Stick, yeah?
Yeah. They liked getting the recognition, but mainly they really wanted to be supportive of their employees. And let's see, T-Mobile, what the employee said was her supervisor encourages her to breastfeed and gives her time to use the pump. And Hot Dog on a Stick, very friendly work environment. The workers always encourage her to breastfeed. And at other offices, there's even an office or a business where the breastfeeding policy encourages it. They're accommodating for the use of the breast pump, and they tell her to go pump anytime, whenever she needs to.
And I think that's a testament to not that there aren't a lot of you don't need fancy space. You don't need a lot of space, in fact, to implement that at their offices, because typically at a business like T-Mobile or like a cell phone storefront or a fast food place, even those two businesses found ways to accommodate for their employees, and that's really good to hear.
Yeah, we're happy about it.
Now, I know that kind of in the timeline after a mother gives birth, there's the hospital. She makes many contacts within that first year of life. Returning to work is a little bit later, hopefully around 6 weeks after they've given birth. And but earlier than that is the mom is at the hospital, if not a birthing center. I think that most moms are still delivering at hospitals. What about partnerships with the hospitals?
Well, the WIC program is collaborating with Hilo Medical Center and Kona Community Hospital to provide breast pump supplies to mothers of high-risk babies on site right at the hospital, which facilitates the mother being able to supply breast milk for her baby.
Well, that cuts out the wait time for the mom. I mean, if she's not able to go to a WIC appointment for a while, go to the office, and I think that really helps with increasing the mom's success, at lengthening her duration.
Yeah, it does seem to help. Another way that we are working with the hospital is that we have a partnership this last year that included 2 students from UH Hilo Baccalaureate Nursing Program, the East Hawaii Perinatal Consortium, Hilo Medical Center, and the Hilo WIC program. And that partnership created a revised crib card that supports and promotes breastfeeding. By having this crib card, and it's not subsidized by a formula company, we feel that the conflict of information is avoided and the moms are encouraged to breastfeed, and the hospital staff, has breastfeeding front and center.
Yeah.
The logo, and to describe the card a little bit, the logo on the front is a localized version of the International Breastfeeding logo, and then the design on the back is original artwork from one of the students, and she worked really hard to get it perfect.
And it looks beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Well, we also have a picture of the group that you've collaborated with, to create the crib card, and it's very heartwarming to see the different people who have helped to pitch in to get this kind of conflict-free product out there to moms. That there are no corporate sponsorships for it, and that the intent of the material is just to promote public health.
Yeah, we were very pleased, and it actually went beyond my expectations as to how well it all turned out.
Yeah. Well, it was wonderful to hear all the different efforts on the Big Island, and I'm sure that we'll continue to hear a lot more from the consortium and just the different groups, the very grassroots efforts that I know have huge impacts for your local moms.
Well, thank you. We're looking forward to continuing our work.
Yeah. So, thank you everyone for joining us again for another episode of Foundations for Healthy Generations. My name is Lorelyn Salamanca. We hope that you will join us again for another episode. And this is me saying goodbye for now. Ahui ho. Bye.
Lucky that we live Hawaii, 24/7, 365. Swimming in the ocean anytime.